two racetracks, one Saturday night, 1,100 miles of highway between them, and one driver who was told all week that he could only pick one of them. Kyle Larson had a 400-lap Cup Series race to run in Virginia. He also had the pole position sitting empty at the biggest dirt race in the world, out in a small Iowa town. Both events ran at almost the same time. On paper, there was no version of that schedule where he could do both. His team built a plan anyway. Then they tore it up and built a new one in the middle of the race. So how does a driver even try to run two races in two states on one night? On Saturday night, the NASCAR Cup Series ran the Cookout 400 at Richmond Raceway in Virginia. That same night, Knoxville Raceway in Iowa held the 65th Knoxville Nationals. If you do not follow dirt racing, here is what you need to know. The Knoxville Nationals is the biggest sprint car race in the world. Racers call it the granddaddy of them all. Winning it pays $200,000. Larson drives the number 5 Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. That job comes first. Richmond it was. If double duty sounds familiar with this driver, that is because it is. Larson has tried the Indianapolis 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 on the same day twice. Both times the weather beat him. This time the weather did the opposite, but Larson had already done something special in Iowa that week. On Thursday night, he won his qualifying feature at Knoxville in the Silva Motorsports No. 57. That win made him the top point driver for the week. It also put him on the pole for Saturday night's finale, the best starting spot in the biggest race of the year. And he was not going to be there to use it. The backup plan was almost sad. A crew member named Trevor Canales was going to climb into Larson's sprint car, roll off the pole, and pull straight into the pits. Racers call that start and park. It collects a paycheck and nothing more. So why enter at all? Money. This sprint car team runs part-time and every dollar matters. Larson won $13,000 in the Capitani Classic at Knoxville the Sunday before. He won $21,000 more at Southern Iowa Speedway on Monday. His Thursday qualifying win paid $12,000. The start and park run would have added $15,000. Then the weather showed up. Saturday morning, the forecast in Iowa looked terrible for Larson's chances. He wanted rain. He needed rain. He got almost nothing. Here is how he described that moment. When I got in the Cup car, it only showed like a 10% chance of rain at 6 o'clock or something. I was like, all right, that's a bummer. I was kind of sad for a minute and then just got focused on the Cup race. So he buckled in at Richmond and got to work. And his night was very rough. Larson qualified 30th on Friday. Early in the race, he fell a full lap behind the leaders. He finished 25th in the first stage. He was just grinding away. Then he climbed to 13th by the end of stage 2, which earned the free pass and put him back on the lead lap. And while all of that was happening, the sky opened up in Iowa. Steady rain hammered Knoxville Raceway. Hot laps had not even run yet. And a race that should have been long over by the time Richmond ended was still sitting there, waiting. In the middle of the Richmond race, Larson's crew chief Cliff Daniels came over the radio with news. He told his driver that Knoxville was way behind. Way behind. And that maybe there was a way to get him there. Daniels explained what was happening behind the scenes. He said, he had done a really good job of this week kind of resigning himself to the fact that he wasn't going to be able to start the A-main, and not going to tell you exactly what I told him, but using appropriate language, I was like, man, we can have stuff ready for you. We can go get this. Hendrick Motorsports president Jeff Andrews helped map out the plan. Larson's public relations rep Colby Gornievich worked the phones with people in Iowa. A plane was put on standby. Daniel said he would rather have a plan they could cancel than nothing at all. And here is the funny part. Larson kept telling them no. Daniel said it plainly. Larson kept telling me no. He kept telling Jeff Andrews no, but we were persistent because we knew that if we get him there, he can probably do something special. Once Larson knew Iowa was possible, his Richmond race turned around. He climbed into the top 10 late and brought the number 5 car home 6th. That was his best finish since Sonoma. It also stopped an ugly stretch. Larson had finished outside the top 34 times in 5 races and slipped to 10th in the standings. He needed that run badly. Then the checkered flag waved at Richmond. Larson parked on pit road, jumped out, and ran for a waiting vehicle that took him to Richmond International Airport. A chartered jet was ready to fly him to Pella, Iowa. He was in the air roughly half an hour after the race ended. What happened next was strange. Fans found his plane on flight tracking sites. At one point, around 16,000 people were watching that little airplane icon crawl across a map. It became the most tracked flight in the world. Does Nobody was watching highlights. Everybody was watching a plane. He landed in Iowa around 12:55 in the morning. A camera crew filmed him walking off the tarmac. A police escort was waiting to run him to the track. Larson got to Knoxville Raceway before the B main even took the green. He missed hot laps completely. He did not get one warm-up lap. He just showed up, buckled in, and went racing on the biggest night of the sprint car season, and then he made it look easy. Larson led all 50 laps. Every single one. Sheldon Hautenschild took a run at him. So did Casey Kane. Neither one could do anything about it. Larson took the checkered flag early Sunday morning and won his 4th Knoxville Nationals. Even the guy who finished second sounded happy about it. Hautenschild said, Kyle just kept getting farther and farther away. Then he added something that shows how much respect Larson has in that garage. I'm glad Kyle got to make it back, honestly. If I want to win this race, I want to beat Kyle, and the best there is. Casey Kane finished 3rd at 46 years old. That is the best Knoxville Nationals run of his career, he said. I got right to second there, and I was trying to do all I could to keep up with Kyle. He slowly pulled away. In victory lane, Larson was still trying to process it. He said, it's extremely surreal. Just to talk about the day and the range of emotions. Then he put it simply, it's just wild how I'm here tonight. He also thanked the team that let him do it. Larson said, I wouldn't have any Knoxville Nationals championships without Hendrick Motorsports. And then he summed up the night better than anyone else could. A 4th Knoxville Nationals in a fashion like this is unbelievable. It feels like a little bit of a dream right now. Now look at the numbers, because they are ridiculous. 4 Knoxville Nationals titles for Larson in 2021, 2023, 2024, and now 2026. All 4 came in the last 6 runnings of the race. That ties him with Kenny Weld and Danny Lasowski for 4th most all-time. Only Doug Wolfgang has more, with 5, that is 16 career wins at Knoxville Raceway. It is also his 40th career win with the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series, making him just the 22nd driver ever to hit that mark. He went 4 for 4 in sprint car features during Nationals Week. Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Saturday. He did not lose once. His total earnings for the week passed $212,000. One driver, 400 laps of cup racing in Virginia, a jet ride across the country, 50 laps led on dirt in Iowa, all in one night. So here is what I want to know. Is what Kyle Larson did on Saturday night the most impressive thing you have ever seen a race car driver pull off?